Good morning, Wildcats. I hope you're enjoying Hattie Big Sky so far. So I thought I would hop on this morning and just remind you of a few things that are coming up that are due, as well as talk to you about the Chapter 3 assignment that I have posted for today. Okay, so first announcement. Your Week 20 vocabulary letter is due today. So you want to make sure that you have that turned in before midnight on turnitin.com. If you cannot access turnitin.com for some reason, just let me know either via email or Student Square or on Google Classroom, and I will happily upload it for you. Second announcement. Last week you did figurative language written by Wildcats, and I asked you to read each student's type of figurative language and decide what type it was. So some of you I've submitted that back to you a couple times already, and I'm trying to get you to 100%. That's my goal, is I want you to get a 30 out of 30 at that. So if you still have not fixed all of those and gotten them all correct, make sure that you continue to submit that to me. I'm going to make the cutoff midnight tonight, and then whatever your score is whatever your score is at that point. Third announcement, I'm going to start holding office hours. So what I mean by that is that I'm going to pick a period of time each day where I will be online, and you can hop onto Google Meet and you can ask me any questions you have or have me walk you through something if you're not sure how to do it. Anything like that is fine. So it's not an official class or session, but it's just a chance for you to actually see me, ask me questions. I can share my screen with you and show you how to do something if necessary. Okay, so you have read Chapter 1 and you have read Chapter 2. So in Chapter 1, we learned that Hattie was living with Aunt Ivy and Uncle Holt, and she had received a letter from her Uncle Chester, whom she had never met, and he has since passed away, and he is willing to her, or she is inheriting his claim if she wishes to go. And she decides that she definitely wants to go because she doesn't want to work for Iantha Wells in a boarding house or live any longer with Aunt Ivy. So she writes back saying that she will go. And then you also saw in Chapter 2 that she had actually boarded the train and she had made her way there. So in Chapter 3, we're going to see what life is actually like for Hattie at Uncle Chester's claim. So I'm going to show you how to do this assignment. And as Paralee said, grab your hat, grab your cat, and head out west with me. Okay, I was definitely just kidding about grabbing your hat and grabbing your cat. What you will need to do is grab your book. And if you have Post-it notes, sometimes that can be helpful when you're looking for answers. You can just stick those Post-it notes in and come back to it. Obviously, you can't write in the copy of the book that you have. So quick recap. Day 1, this is that vocabulary letter. It is due today prior to midnight on turnitin.com. There are some helpful things for you here. There are the Google Slides with the vocab words. There's a video explanation of those vocab words. And there's also the assignment. When you do the assignment, please, please, please make sure that you pay attention to the directions and to the rubric. So there is a rubric posted, if you didn't see that, on the second page that tells you what my expectations are. So make sure you've read through that. Hop onto Google Meet if you have any questions about that. Okay, next thing. Today you need to make sure that you've made all the corrections to your best figurative language. So 12 of you have them done already. There's still 11 of you that need to make those corrections. I may have resubmitted it again to you a couple times, but just make sure you keep fixing it. Fix those answers highlighted in red. And again, hop onto Google Meet if you have questions and you still can't figure one out. I would like for all of you to get 100% on that. Okay, for some reason you didn't take the Chapter 1 open book quiz, make sure you do that ASAP. Yesterday you should have done the Chapter 2 assignment that was posted here. A couple of you had questions about whether you were supposed to do the whole thing. Yes, you were supposed to do the whole thing. So if you misinterpreted those instructions, make sure you submit that to me today and finish that up. All right, so let's talk about the Chapter 3 assignment that's due today. And again, I just wanted to show you that I posted the Google Meet link if you have questions here. So it's the same link as yesterday, actually. And it says that you want to preview the Chapter 3 assignment, read Chapter 3, and then complete activities 1 and 2. And if you still have not gotten your books yet, you can go to the high school today and pick them up from 8 till noon. If you absolutely can't pick up your books, please let me know as soon as possible. I had sent a parent square out about that a couple times last week. I am more than happy to mail it to you if you cannot pick up your books. All right, let's take a look at the Chapter 3 assignment. So you want to put your name here. It's worth 20 points. And again, this is for Chapter 3. So there's 2 activities here, one on characterization, and there is one that has to do with what it takes to prove up on a claim. So you're going to please fill in the chart below. For explicit characterization, I have given you the page numbers where you'll find the answers. Remember that explicit characterization is what the author says. Okay, so you should be able to underline it, highlight it, circle in the book. Please don't do that in your copy, but you can put a post-it note next to it. It should not be something you're making up. Okay? And complete sentences are not necessary for this part. You could just put like little bullet points in a list. So for example, I got you started for Paralee and this character, this can be called Rooster Jim Fowler. And then I already put the page numbers in here for explicit characterization. So you don't need to do anything here. Okay? You don't need to do anything in the character column, but you do need to fill in their traits. And it could be appearance, it could be their personality, it could be their connection to Hattie. Like for example, for Paralee, I could add that she's going to be Hattie's neighbor. That's said in the book too, those sorts of things. For implicit, I don't want you to do this for all the characters. Chase, Maddie, and Fern, you're not going to learn a lot about them yet, so I don't want any inferences for them yet. There's just not enough information in Chapter 3 for you to do that. But you should be able to do that for the other characters. So implicit characterization, just a reminder again, is your guess, okay, an educated guess at what a trait might be. So Kirby Larson, the author, should not say it. You should be guessing it or assuming it based on something they say or something that they do, some action they take. And I set those up for you. So for example, I can infer Paralee is blank. You fill that in because give me some evidence from the book. What did she do? What did she say that makes you think that? And where did you find that? So the page number is going to go over here in the last column. You do need to fill these ones in because there are a couple possible answers for these ones. If you need help thinking of character traits, you can click on this link right here. And this is the same list that I actually gave you in class, but I know that you don't have your binders or notebooks, at least most of you don't, so you probably don't have a copy of this. So you can use this to help you out with that. Okay, second activity is really easy actually. There are 3 requirements for proving up that Hattie was unaware of before she signed on to go to Montana. And she's going to hear these from Mr. Ebgard. So you want to look on page 25 for these. So there should be 3 things that she has to do to actually get her free land. So it's not really free. There are some things that she has to do. And then the other thing I want you to look for is how much time does she have left to do this? So Chester had already started this, but she obviously doesn't have the same amount of time that he did. So you want to find how much time does she have left before she has to prove up. Those again should all be on page 25. Okay, I hope you enjoy Chapter 3. And again, if you have any questions, hop onto Google Meet and see me, and I will be more than happy to help. And if I don't talk to you, have a wonderful spring break and a happy Easter.